Hey guys, how's it going? Just sitting here fixing to have some lunch. I was trying to do my call with my website person who's helping me fix my site up for you guys, but the wind blew his internet out. Poor guy, tech guy. He's out of California and I'm here in Arizona, so we couldn't even finish our call, so I thought, well, I'll just go live and work on my book then. Can't be productive on the website. Then I'll do something else. Yep, on TikTok. Let me answer that. Yep, on TikTok. I was trying to go live on Discord, but couldn't figure it out. My image keeps mirroring on my teacher cam, so it mirrors the image, and I don't know if it's mirrored for you guys, but it's mirrored for me, so anyway. All right, I'm on, and I'm in the 2022 code book, but it's okay if you're in the 2021. You'll get to see what the new codes are and can write them in. But I'm on page 412, and I'm working on CPT code 50590. And I also have this lovely Excel sheet that someone made me because I don't know, I just generally asked if anybody wants to make me an Excel sheet with all the CPT codes on it with the short descriptor. I'll put in my one-word descriptor to describe every code so I can get that published for you guys. And of course, a couple of people came through with that, so I have... Yeah. Let me, while I'm doing this, I'm going to do two birds with one stone. Let me get down to this code in this Excel sheet, and then I can type in the one-word differences. And do two things at one time. Y'all are so great. I just mentioned one little thing, and then I've got emails coming with help. So that is awesome. Because it, not only helps me, it helps you guys, but also helps people that come after you that need to learn all this stuff too. All right. Shockwave. So this is lithotripsy. This is where they're using shock waves to break up those calcium deposits in your kidneys. They can get pretty stagnant, and then they can develop branches where they're not just a rolly stone. They actually have branches. If you've ever seen rock candy, something like that. They get crazy. Hey, Auntie Cece, speaking of you, I think I got an email from you too. Tons of help. And if anybody needs a book that's already prepped, Cece's got some for sale. They're in my Discord on the, I set up a page on Discord, which is pretty cool. I just got it added to my website today too. They got the Discord app working, but if you get to our main server room, I have all these other little rooms, and we have right here, Sell Your Books, a room, and Cece has all of 2021 books available, I think, unless somebody bought her hip picks. I sent somebody to her yesterday. But super cool that we have all those rooms, and I just got to fill them up with information. I'm working on it. But I got to at least get through with these 2022 books and the notes. So I'm working on 50590. Ooh, what is going to be my one word right here? This is an extra. Well, let me get my pens. I let them sit out overnight and forgot to close the lids. Don't do that. This is extra. ESWL. The ESWL will probably be in there because that is your extra shockwave lithotripsy. So that's just the way they do it. What they're doing in here is, let me get this turned where I can write and get my chair moved. We're doing destroy stones. By direct. You don't have to write this stuff. I'm just telling you what it is. And direct is D-I-R-C. Oh, gosh. I'm forgetting letters. Direct shock wave. Unless you just want to know what's going on in the thing. Wave, not way. Wave through water, through a liquid. Shockwave. We've got a shockwave. And if you have trouble with kidney stones, please remember not to eat any nuts whatsoever, even in your Snickers candy bars. Nuts are ooey bad for you because there is a protein in the shell of the nut that holds the nut, and that protein gets milled up with things, and that protein is an inhibitor of a protein that you have that automatically breaks down kidney stones. So if you get kidney stones frequently or know somebody that does, tell them to avoid nuts at all cost. Any seeds, any nuts, anything like that. And that's a lot of food right there to get rid of, but it will, if you have to go in and get this done, you will never want to get it done again, I'm sure. So how's everybody doing today? Hey, Robert. I thought all medical coding and billing was being done by a computer now. Yeah, Aaron, computers can do this for sure, 100% without us. We're just spinning our wheels for no reason. This is ablation. This one is unilateral. And we're also using radio frequency. Radio frequency. And I've got a modifier alert here. Right here. So if you need to make this bilateral, you just add your modifier 50. So don't forget to do that for this code just in case. We're going to mark our 4. And our route is percutaneous. That's sometimes usually pretty important. And then I wrote it there, but never hurts to underline unilateral. And then here's my blue. We can do our blue highlighter right underneath that modifier, just to make it brighter. Just to make it brighter. I don't think I have a modifier. Miss CC, you want to be a modifier? Miss Scorpio, y'all want to be moderators? I know y'all are in here all the time. My migraine is better today. Yesterday, I could tell it was still there, and I took it easy yesterday. Of course, I wasn't even on the live yesterday, but I did tutoring all day and most of the night, and then I did my taxes. I feel better when I get things out of my way that I need to get done, So I did that and finished up about 10:30, almost close to 11. And then I just watched TikTok for 2 hours and then went to bed instead of going live. So today I was up, energized. I've already mopped the house, cleaned dishes, laundry, showered, hair fluffed, and I've already had a meeting with the website guy, and here I am live with you guys. So I am 100% today. Thank you for asking. Oh, thank you. I love being helpful. That is I don't know. They have all those things that they say, what's your love sign or love, or I don't know, the way that you love people, and being helpful is my number one thing. I love being helpful, and troubleshooting is my other thing. Give me a problem, give me a minute, and let me figure out a way to fix it. I love troubleshooting, and I love being helpful. No, I don't think so, Robert. I'm not sure who you are. Shelby, please help. I totally prepped my 2021 book. Does it mean I cannot use it for the exam, or do I need a 2022? Don't buy another dang book. This year is a perfect year to use your 2020 books all year long. You absolutely can do it. You can go to the AAPC website. You can search their questions and answers page and look up, can I use my prior year books? There is a document on there that says you can. They say they don't recommend it, but you absolutely can. So far, there is one updated 2022 code on the exam that I know of for COVID. So if a patient comes in with signs and symptoms, they get a rapid test, and you diagnose them with COVID, you'll need the new updated 2022 code for a positive COVID patient. Other than that, it seems pretty cool, and it's the same codes as 2021. Now, not to sell you anything, but I do have a document on Etsy that if you want to go to the link in my bio here on TikTok, there is a coupon for 20% off. You can get it. It's like $25 or something. It'll show you which page to go to in your 2021 CPT book and which codes to add. For example, in E&M, you have 5 codes to add. One is a parent code to one is a child code to a parent code that we already have a code for. And then we have 2 parents and 2 child codes in the back near the psychology stuff that we're going to add. And that's it for E&M. So it's just 4 codes. It's not that bad of a year to add and manually update your book. You can absolutely do that with my document, and you'll be fine for the entire year for all your takes on the exam. I have one for the ICD10 book too. You don't need one for hip picks, but I'll work on that when I finish this. Hey, Twinkle. You too. You could be a moderator too. It's so funny. Yep. Auntie's telling you about it. Let's see. How do I do that? I know I see people make people moderators, but do I know how to do that? Oops. I know how to click on your name. Follow, like, friends. Manage? What's manage? Add as moderator. Ooh, that's fancy dancy. All right, who else do I like? I like Miss Twinkle. She's always in here. And Miss Scorpio. My friend, the Scorpio. Okay, now I got 3 moderators in here. Thanks for the follow, Robert. But Miss, is that Shelley Boy? I'm trying to read this. My eyesight is S. Hay. S. Hay. To answer your question, absolutely keep your books and don't buy new books, please. Yep. Yep. You got to prepare your book from the very beginning. Well, I'm in the middle, and I'm going to tell you what's going on with all these codes and help you fix it up. This one right here, they have to use a CT, an MRI, an ultrasound to guide it. All right. What's the one word I'm going to type up here? I'm 2 codes behind. I know shockwave, but extra, read all about it. Oop, enable editing. Holy cow. All right. I'm going to go back to that. And then I got to go find the code again. 509, 505. Sorry, I'm just trying to type up the AKA list while I'm doing this. So I'm talking to myself. 50590. Yep, we're going to be doing extra, read all about it, ESWL. And this one, we're going to do unilateral. Unilateral refractory. Yep. And then our 53, way up here. Let's work on that code. Do you have how to do it on Etsy? Do what, love? No, you are not required or forced to use the 2022 books for the AAPC exam this year. No, you are not required. You absolutely do not have to use it. If you do join my Discord, I have a room full of information for your day prep for your exam. I even have the proctor's instructions on what they're going to read to you and demand of you that day, even if you wanted to look at that. But I also have in one of my rooms this little document from AAPC that comes from their website that says you can absolutely use prior year books with current year. It is available on my Discord, so the Discord link or my name is the same as here on Tiki Talk, so it's Medical Coding by Jen, and we have all these rooms full of information about your AAPC exam. But also, if you go to TikTok and you go to my profile, which is right there, I have a link to the Etsy store. Has tons of stuff in there for you. I have my email there and questions you can ask. But if you go to one of my last TikToks, this one with Dolly Parton on it, she's down at the bottom clapping her hands right there. And it says free practice questions. If you click into that TikTok,
My free.
and you go to my comments over here in the bubble comment, I have the link to the Discord right there. So you can click on any of those links. I've republished and republished it. It's there. Plus there's my Discord number, 6243. Go on and download the Discord app to your phone. Get registered first before you click into my link, because it won't work unless you've already got an account on Discord. There's also a coupon here for Etsy for 30% off, and the store's on sale right now for 10% off for Valentine's Day till the 15th anyway. So that'll make everything 40% off. How do you prepare the books, Miss Scorpio? You are going to be doing a lot of work. You are going to be doing exactly what I've got going on. The first thing is you're going to take one word and put it beside every code so that you know if you've picked it for an answer, you're going to go, it's a biopsy or a stent. That's my two differences. I'm going to run to my question and just look for biopsy and stent. Find which one it is, pick the right answer, and move on to your next question. This will help you out more than anything right there. You're also going to mark all your do nots and your do's, and you're going to highlight what is in the, which I haven't even done over here. Right here, you'll see these brackets in these CPT codes, descriptors. And when you have a bracket, you need to highlight what's in the bracket, because they're going to use these words in their question. Anything with a bracket. A lot of things don't have brackets. That's okay. But if they do, you're absolutely going to do it. If they ever tell you that the word is open or closed, we circle our opens in green, the word. We circle our closed in orange. We fix all of the out-of-sequence codes. This book is in numerical order. That's your do nots. That's how you fix your do nots. You double star them and underline do not. But this book is full of codes that are out of numerical sequence, like these right here that are red. There's nothing worse than getting down to your AAPC exam and having them tell you the code that you're looking for is not here, and you've got to go look for it in these ranges of codes. Sometimes it's 1 page away, sometimes it's 700 pages away, and you got to go search for it, and you might have multiple. So what we do is we go through here and we go write down the page number of where it is, and we do that throughout the entire book. A lot of getting ready for this exam is just prepping this book. This book is your brain. 75 of the questions from your exam are going to be out of this book. Only just a very few are going to be from anything else, like your ICD10 book and your hip picks or your guidelines are just going to be a very few fractional parts of your exam. Most everything's going to be in here. So we need to prep your brain. But that's easy, that it's an open book exam, so you don't have to memorize a lot of things. There's a couple of codes or numbers I might want you to memorize, but other than that, everything should be in your book. Unilateral. What did I do with the blue? Blue, blue, blue. There we go. This one too is unilateral, and if you're gonna do both sides, then we need to make sure we know we gotta use our modifier. So this one is freezing. Cryo is freezing. We'll just freeze that tumor and it will just die off on its own. Alright. And then 5-3 is unilateral cryo. Why are you? Nope. Yes, it will be posted on YouTube if it records. I'm beholden to TikTok to it record it. I'm going to stop at 2-hour mark, right? Somebody's keeping track. Twinkle usually does for me. She'll let me know when 2 hours is up if she's still on, and I will stop this. Yeah, and then well, I need to stop at 4 anyway because the boys will be home. I'll get them fed and then prep for tonight's live. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah. Oh gosh, what day of the week is it? Yep, it's Wednesday. So I'll go live tonight with practice questions too. And if it records, I will absolutely put it on TikTok, on YouTube, and it will say that it is book prep because that's what we're doing. So our first line right here is important for the 606 because we can only do this per day. So that one line is pretty important for the guidelines right there. A lot of it we can get rid of, but I like this other guideline right here, starting with service. And it goes all the way to separately. So that sentence is something to retain and to know about that 50606 code. Yeah. Well, that's important. And we're going to go all the way down to the bottom here. This whole paragraph about all these codes are to be reported as each. And up here we've got Those are reported separately. Yep. Okay. So my urectomy, this one, when you see OMY, I don't know, I always think of removal, but I guess it's ectomy, with an E. So you got to be careful. All they're doing is opening up this one, so incising the ureter, or inspect it. Oh gosh, my handwriting today. Inspect the ureter. I hate not being able to fold my book, because if I fold my book and write on top of the book pages, then I'm ripping the bottom page out underneath when I fold it in half. But then what I miss is having it folded. This stupid spiral thing goes out of my way. Now, without it not folded, I can't get my hand in here to write close to the edge. It's constantly pushing me away. I hate it. Plain, place a drain. Yeah. So this one is, we're also placing a drain after we've cut into it, putting a drain cath in. In the patient's skin. Inspect is this one. Is our one word for the 06? 3. Five, 600 is not on our Excel sheet. Where are you, baby? Where did you go? So let me add that line in. Where's your alignment? Let's go over to that way, and we're just going to put inspect here. Inspect. And over. Okay. And or cath placement. Yep. 6. I don't know where the, okay, and then I might have to add 50605 into our Excel sheet. 50605. Just missing 2. Okay. You're very welcome. Yep. I don't know if it needs to be all capitalized, that coupon, but yes, that is the coupon code. Yay, yay, yay. All right. What is separate procedure? That means you got to do a separate CPT code for it if you're doing that particular thing. Let's see, maybe reported separately. To diagnostic whatever is not included in 50606, and it may be reported separately. So if they're saying that they did whatever they're doing in 50606, we haven't gotten to that one yet, but it'll be over here, the indwelling thing, ureter stent. They're saying that it does not include these two tests, and if you do those two tests, you get to code it separately. That's all. I don't know why they can't tell us at the code, but at least they've told us something. Move the tea over. All right. So this one is just a stent, is our one word. So they're going to insert a stent into the ureter, and they're going to use an incision, ureter, E-T-E-R, ureter, or stent. Just an incision, that's all. So 505 is stent. 605? Yep. All right. And 606. So you should know that your ureter comes out of kidney, right? And it just fills up the bladder that holds everything. If you're a guy, the prostate is behind the bladder, which is why they can't use radiation on it through the skin. They have to insert those radiation pellets into the prostate if they get cancer, and it's super hard to clear up because you can't get to it unless you remove their bladder and shoot radiation in there. Oh yeah. Do I ever. I took 33 of those guideline pages that are in your ICD-10 book. I hand typed them out, and then I added examples and screenshots. Okay, whatever they're saying in this guideline, it's in the middle or over to the side. I have all the guideline typed out on half the Word document. Then the other half of the document, I'll have a screenshot of what it looks like in the book, and then an example of how it was decoded, either by a practice exam question or some other information written down beside the guideline to show you what they mean and where it is in the book and what it looks like in the book. And yeah, I turned it into like over 100 and something pages. Yeah, I've got 2022 guidelines for you. And even if you have the 2021 book, it's okay. There's only 2 sections that they added into it, which are COVID, and then they added the food insecurity section at the back. But the guidelines are all the same for 2021 and 2022, except for 2 additional additions, which are on those other documents that I said that if you want to make your 2021 books into 2022 books, I added the extra guidelines that you need to know about 2022. But it's only the COVID stuff. And a lot of the COVID is on the 2021, but they added long haulers and one other diagnosis, something associated with the children, the multi-system the multi-system and the long haulers is what they added in the guidelines. So it's not too bad. And then the food insecurities or homelessness, we have new guidelines for that, but it's not too bad. And I haven't seen either one of those type situations on the exam yet, but I have seen the new COVID, like if you patient comes in and they have COVID, what are you going to diagnose them with? So there is that one question on one of the exams. They did. They cut the exam down by a third. It's only 50 questions per section. So if you take it at home, you'll do 50 questions one time and 50 at another time. If you take it in person, it's just 100 questions. You have more time per question than you did when you had 150 questions, which is nice. And if you get an ADA, and in Discord, I have the instructions on how to get an ADA. You can get an extra hour where you'd have over 3 minutes and 30 seconds per question to do it, either at home or online. But the instructions are in my Discord. Let me get some codes updated. So, this endoluminal, whatever, all they mean is this is the inner wall of ureter or renal pelvis. All right. So over here, that guideline right there that we were looking at that says that this does not include the two thingies. What I would write, where's my red? Ooh, I'm going to have to find me a Travis and ask him where my red pen is. He has a thing about red pens. He loves red pens. I gotta ask him when he gets home. So I'll write over here that does not include one line through a circle, PYE LOG RAPHY or a ureter, whatever, URETEROGRAPHY. If it's done, we're going to code separately. There we go. All right, and then this is, yep, code separately. Yep. And this is an add-on code. So we would gonna do the each in case. This one includes, come on, pen, includes image guidance, includes our image guidance, ultrasound or fluoroscope. And you know that's in our highlighted area that we needed to do because it's in our parentheses. Where does it start? I know where it ends there. That migraine that I had, I lost sense of smell at the end of that night. My son made popcorn, and y'all know who our popcorn is, and he made it on the skillet, like in a skillet, and I didn't even know he made it. Couldn't even smell it. My other son brought it in to the bedroom and was like, "You want some popcorn?" Set down a bowl. Like, John made popcorn. I can't even smell it. So, but the COVID symptoms are lack of smell, but also migraine headaches can make you lose sense of smell, or change your sense of smell too. So it's very cool. I mean, it came back the next morning, of course. When I got up, it was just fine. But I thought, that's the first time anybody has ever not, cooked popcorn around me, and I'm not going, open up a door, because if you're not eating it, it doesn't smell good, but it does smell good when you're eating it. So it's like, that was weird. But yeah, it came right back. But that migraine was rough. That was rough. Hey, MK, good to see you. "100 questions." That's great to know. Thank you for doing the CPA. Yep. You want to do the CPMA, which is really cool because my Discord room, I just started a separate room, like for auditing. So I have practice exam questions right there too. CPMA, I have those there too. So I just started last night putting in a couple of questions, or just the one. I've got the question, and we got Minnie Mouse, who we needed to make sure she was compliant with her medical records input. What was the minimum amount of stuff that she needed to have on the chart, and then I put the rationale behind it. But I have rooms based off of a lot of different specialities now with practice questions in them. Even risk, if you wanted to go into risk, CCS, any of those things, I've started out doing the questions with the rationale. And Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse are just loaded up with all kinds of issues going on. I'll have Disney coming after me, but it's all right. This is my own private server. We'll see how long that lasts, but we'll see. Maybe I need to come up with some better names. I can use Travis and James, right? I could use my own kids' names in the questions, but I've got them two going on right now in my questions. Person feels sick all the time, has headaches, but all medical exams are negative. What do you think? I think that they probably need to see a different doctor. And you just have to keep doctor shopping until you find the right one, which is rough and hard to do. If you know something's wrong, you have to be your own advocate in the healthcare system, 100%, because they will not find stuff. I had the cable internet guy over here a couple of years ago helping me fix my internet, and the last time he came over, he was interested in some car parts my dad had left over in the garage. So I invited him back over when he wasn't on call to come look at the parts. And he came over that day to look at the parts, and he was coughing. He said, "Let me get my inhaler." This is before COVID. So he went to get his inhaler, and he said, "I just had this cough forever, and they keep giving me these inhalers, but they don't think they work." And I looked at him and I said, "You've lost weight, but have you been exercising?" "No." "Okay, well, has he done a CBC or a chest x-ray?" "No, he just says I have asthma from walking into people's homes all the time. It's exposure from work." I'm like, "No, go back and make him do a chest x-ray and a CBC." Found out he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and was dying of a chest tumor cancer. Freaking A. Saved his life, though. Non-Hodgkin's can be cured if you catch it in time. So because I told him to go get that done, he came back to get that car part after that, and he was on disability, not working for the cable company anymore, but he attributed me to saving his life. You really have to advocate. Now, it could be diet, it could be depression, it could be a myriad of things, from one thing to another, but if you're not getting the help you need and they're just telling you there's nothing there, then go find another doctor. Somebody's got to find out what it is. But if it is more allergy symptoms, like you feel sick all the time, have you had your air conditioner ducts cleaned? Somebody go up into the ducts, either replace the ducting or clean out the ducting. Have you ever pulled down, those bathroom fans in your home? Those little square boxes, and you pull down the lint stuff and clean that out? You'd be surprised, girl. Oh my gosh, how much could be gathered up there. I have to do ours all the time. I have all this hair, and my hair goes up into those things, up in the ceilings, and I've got, 12-foot ceilings in some places in the bathroom, and my hair gets everywhere. You really got to think about your home. Make sure there's no mold. Get a mold or air test done. They have kits now at Home Depot. You can test your water out of your spigots. What if you have mold in your water faucets? Could be a million things. But look at your environment and then doctor shop. Absolutely. You can get free water testing done too, either through the city or from online programs. There's test kits for your air quality in your home. All kinds of things. You just got to keep at it. Check one thing off at a time and keep going and keep going. Yeah, I can move my camera. Sorry. There's no telling. Let me turn on some light too. Get this going better. Let's see. I can't smell a skunk when they spray. I've never been able to. I can taste it like pepper in the air, but growing up in Mississippi, that was something strange. But I've had my nose broken a bunch of times from fishing with my dad. He'll pull back a limb and I won't duck fast enough, or who knows. I'm just always running into stuff. Nothing intentional ever, but just being a tomboy running around. And I don't know, I've never been able to smell a skunk spray, which is really unusual. People, even driving down the road, can always smell those. And I'm like, I don't smell anything, but I taste pepper in the air. It's weird. The body is just something so cool. It just does the weirdest things. How do you pay through TikTok? Oh, good Lord, I don't know. I know that if I get like so many thousand followers that you can tip through TikTok, but other than that, I have no idea. And I know that these gifts that they give online, like TikTok takes 90% of that, and then we get like 5% or something of whatever that is. I can't even find my balance on TikTok since they updated it now. I did have before Christmas $15 in there from like 3,000 diamonds. It's like, that's $15. I don't know what a diamond costs, but that's 3,000 is worth $14.90, just so you know, on the Creators Fund. But now I can't even find where the fund is in my TikTok thing land. But eventually I want to draw it out and use that money as a grant for somebody to get free notes. Let's see. your Instagram link change. The one on your profile is not working. I have no idea. I have not been on Instagram. I mean, I share my TikToks that I make on Instagram because it's linked somehow, but let's see. A, B, C, D, E, F. I got too many apps. Where is what am I called? Right now, it's just coding by Jen. I got to change everything to medical coding by Jen. But I'm never on this thing. Like, TikTok automatically shares all my TikToks, but I never go into it. I'm sure I probably have messages I probably ought to check on. I'm not sure. It's like trying to learn all this stuff. There's home. Ooh, wind pulled down some signs today in town. One of our car dealerships got crushed. I'm telling you, the wind out there is really bad. But I don't guess I have any messages. No, I do have 9+ requests. What is a request? Uh-oh. I guess I do have messages from like weeks ago. Oh no. Oh no. All those blue things are from people. Yeah, I guess I gotta get on here. Crap. Okay, but coding by Jen. It shouldn't be anything different. I gotta get the thing to alert me when people are texting me. Sorry, this one is a biopsy, by the way, and it includes radiology. Stay focused, Jen. Okay, biopsy, and our cheat sheet that I'm making, BX. BX, include rad. Okay. So we've got that's what I heard, that COVID has you really losing some hair afterwards. And I think it's the infection got into the hair follicles, and then that hair can't live as long as it used to normally. Now that the infection's gone away, hopefully your hair will grow back into the follicles that you had before. Just have to take good care of yourself. Try not to stress more than usual, and take some multivitamins. I don't like the smell of some of them, but I use the gummy bear ones because I can chew the gummies. I don't like the pills. Here's the ones I do from Walmart. They're just regular gummies. I do these twice a day. Chew 2 every morning or whatever. And I can get those down and remember to do them every morning when I brush my teeth. They're sitting beside there. And they got hair growing all over me where I don't want it, but my hair and nails grow a lot better. I pick at everything. So I have to keep if I want my nails to grow at all, I got to keep on the multivitamins. So I'm always fiddling with something. All right. I need to mark my use. We're definitely going to use this code. That's this one with all of these right there. And then we've got our do nots. Do not mark with that one. Yep. And do I have any more do nots while I'm over here? And got my red. Yep. There's a do not. So what is 50610? This one is going to be for these three. So this one is doing the upper 1/3. Come on, crane. I bought a whole nother crane system and I hate it worse than I hate this one. So I'm like, I've got this thing now that's bigger, but it holds the laptop, which is nice, and the light, but I don't like its crane is jiggly. Like, that's just jiggly. How am I going to keep that stable? I don't know. That doesn't work either. So I try. It ain't one thing, it's another one. On all this stuff. This one is for the middle. And it's also 1/3. And then this one is for the lower 1/3. So what we're doing here is we're removing stones. Instead of from the kidney, we're removing them from the ureter. Ooh, that's got to be painful. And creates lots of havoc. I'm sure that's just going to send you into renal cephalus. Your kidneys are going to get super enlarged super fast. It is not going to be fun. Why? Got to insert some more rows because these codes are missing for some reason. So 506, 610, and 506, 20, 20, and 506, 30, 30, and we'll put in their little bits of information. Middle, and our bottom. Okay, got those done. Up here we've got some for your information. Nothing major important with these, just a star. Okay, another 4. Another 4 down here at the bottom. All right. So this is just a definition. what a bladder cuff is. It's exactly what it sounds like it is. It forms a circle around part of around the bladder, and it's shaped like a cuff. Not too hard there. All right. Somebody just sent me a friend request on Discord. Yeah, think about mold. If you live in a rainy area, especially Hawaii, or any place with, yeah, think about mold. Think about doing a mold test. Hey, moms, how's it going? Hey, Angel. Okay, the X's, this means this is an add-on code, which are never coded by themselves, right? We have to have a parent to go along with them, and we usually are coding these as in each situation or in multiples of 5 or 10. So these are the codes that sometimes you see that are times 2, times 3, times 4, whatever. But then other codes, you'll see modifiers 50 or 51 that mean bilateral or multiple procedures. Those go on the other codes. These codes most likely, most of the time, do not get a 50 or a 51 modifier on them because they are in each kind of like thing. But those are add-on codes. There is a description of each one of these symbols in the front of the CPT book. If you haven't yet, I'd really recommend you going and reading the instructions on how to use this book. Super cool information. That's how I found it all out. There's an explanation for all the little symbols and stuff. This one comes up on the AAPC CPC exam all the time. They'll give you a range of codes, like anything from anesthesia all the way back to medicine, and they'll pick like 4 or 5 codes throughout the book, just randomly, and say which ones are modifier 51 exempt, or which modifier is exempt from all these codes. Be sure and know that modifier 51 is what they're talking about when they just pick out a whole bunch of random codes and they're saying, which modifier is exempt from all these codes? Well, it's this one. It's on the bottom of every left-hand side of your CPT book, down there at the bottom. I do have some TikToks where I go over each symbol individually too and tell you what it means, including like some ICD-10 ones too. But you got to look back for some of those. Some of those are pretty, some of my very first ones back in April of last year. But they're there. I just got to stay focused and get done with this chapter. I will be live tonight doing a 2-hour practice question and answers for the CPC exam tonight. So that'll be 6:30 Arizona time. So that's 3 hours and 30 minutes from now. If you want copies of my notes, those are available on Etsy. And I have a Discord now with tons of rooms in it with lots of information, even practice exam questions. And if you want tutoring with me one-on-one to see if you're ready for your exam, then that's available on my website, Medical Coding by Jen. And I'm fixing to have some really cool stuff come out on that too. Let's see, this one. removal, all or part. I hate that. Just tell me, one or the other. Ureter, the boys' basketball goal was completely thrown across the driveway. I couldn't get out to go check the mail. The wind blew that, I don't know, the thing's like 60 pounds, completely across the driveway and over. It is super windy. Bladder cuff. Okay. So, that totally unfocused thing just says removal of all or part of the ureter with a section of a bladder cuff. Five oh. I gotta add that one too. Is a removal. And then I need to insert another tab space. We're gonna, no. Yeah. And then we're going to add 60, and this one is also, but it's an abnormal ureter. All right. So our next code is also a removal, but it's because it's an abnormal ureter. But it's also a removal. What's abnormal about it is that it's in the wrong position. Some people just have them born in the wrong spot. So 84. So yes, this is an injection, but what this injection does, it evaluates the tubes for defects and abnormal function. It's looking for leakage or blockage. That's what's going on that one. 86, is that one in? 84 is on there. Yay. So this one is inject to eval. Yep. And then 86. And 88 is there we go. Excel sheet is being updated too. All right, our 50686 is a measurement. Come on, pen. So what they're doing is they're measuring pressure of the fluid your urine is supposed to come out of your kidneys at and they can average about how fast things, or the urine out of the bladder to the ureter, how fast urine normally comes out of everybody. They can take 100 people, measure the pressure of how fast things come out. You can, even in the bathroom, you can hear some people are just like hitting the side of the walls of the toilet and it's just going 90 to nothing, and then some people just trickle. Everybody has a different flow pattern, but they can measure and get an average of what normalcy is. So what this does is just measures the pressure of the amount of fluid that comes out, which helps them look for blockages and leaks. Fluid flow, I guess I should say. Measure the amount of fluid flow. Yep. And then, well, I did that color down there, so let's do our happy little maroon. So the last one, of course, is just a change of the tube. In the CPC exam question, it actually says exchange. So knowing that change is the same thing as exchange. And also the difference, what did they pick? They picked something close. They picked another code that was an insertion. I don't see it in front of me right now. But there was an insertion code, and then there was an exchange, and the insertion may be over here on the other side. But be sure you know that that exchange word was the one that was on the question. Plus, if you're going to, the question did have that answer with it, and it did have that answer with it because they did use guidance, but they did not say the word guidance. They said a dye was injected and contrast was administered. So you knew they used guidance. So, but they didn't say guidance. They said exchange and contrast in the CPC exam question. Let me write that in our Excel sheet. EXCH change. Yep. Thanks for the follow, 2022. And I selected the gift and they declined, and that they asked me for my Apple ID and then it vanished. I have no idea, MK. Don't worry about it, hon. Don't worry. Yes, Miss Mermaid. The X's mean that those are add-on codes. That is so correct. 100%. Thank you, Auntie Cece. You are awesome. I had tutoring with her the other day, and now I'm saying sugar beans all the time now. I love it. She's the sweetest, sweetest person. I took a screenshot. Thanks. Yay. Can you repeat the definition? Repeat the definition of what, my love? I'm sorry, I'm slow on this, MK. Thank you, Golden. It's rainy and windy here. Boy, it was just blowing a minute ago like crazy. Just got home. Hey, Marissa, how's it going? Yes, I'll be on later, 6:30 at 3 hours from now. Absolutely. It looks confusing. It's okay. It would make more sense with the exam practice questions, of course, because this just looks Greek. But when you're given a practice exam question, you need one word to go with, to search the exam question with, to see what the answer is. The exam is already coded. It's already done for you. You just have to pick out the right answer. So what I'm doing is helping people pick out the right answer, the most efficient and fastest way possible, so that during their exam, when they're only given 2 minutes per question, how it used to be, it's a little bit more now, but that's only 120 seconds per question to find the right answer. And this helps a whole lot, 100%. It really does. So just make sure I didn't need to highlight anything else. I know separate procedure, I don't really want to highlight that, even though it's in the brackets. Yep, okay. So 50684, seen on the exam also. The evaluate, the tube, the injection, I don't know. I thought the difference was it's a replace, or it's not a replace, it's a placement. The code that goes with this is the possible answer, is a placement. So you have to think. If you're exchanging a catheter, you're also placing a catheter. So you can't just pick out the word placement and pick it and run with it, because placement and change catheter are both in 88. So if your other answer was 84 or something else, but it can't be that one, but let's say it's one that says placement of a catheter, you can't pick placement. When you're looking at those two different CPT codes and wondering which one is the right answer, don't pick the one word that could be in both answers. You got to think ahead. If it's an exchange, it's also placement. Exchange will be only an exchange, but it will also have placement in it. So you're going to have to, don't see placement and just pick placement, because that's also in this procedure. There's one that we have in integumentary, where you go through the subacute tissue to get to the muscle, to get to the bone. So the answer has all three of those CPT codes. It has one that's for bone, one for muscle, and one for sub-Q. Now, littered throughout that question is sub-Q, 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 and some muscle. But where did they eventually get to? They got to the bone. So you got to think, if you're grabbing the bone word or you're grabbing something, all three of those words, you got to realize in your head, don't pick sub-Q when you first see it, because you have to go through the subcutaneous tissue to get to muscle, to get to bone. So first thing is, look for bone. If there's absolutely no bone mentioned, then you can look for muscle. If there's no muscle and they only went through the sub-Q tissue, then you're cool to pick sub-Q. But things like that, you got to think about a couple of the questions. There's not going to be a lot like that. Normally, you can pick one word and run with it. But in some of these examples, and especially this one, 50688, to exchange something means to place a replacement in there. So the other CPT code that they picked had placement of a cath. So you got to be careful because placement will be all in that question. Does that make sense? The shock one, the 50590. Yep, that is unilateral. They're using radio frequency to hit those stones in the back of your back through into your kidneys to break up those stones in 50290 and 92. 90 is an extra, and it is an ESWL, which means it's an extra shock wave lithotripsy. They are destroying the stones by direct shock waves through liquid behind you. But they beat up your backside right behind your ribs. Hey, Mom, how's it going? All right, we're moving on to page 414 if you're in the 2022 book, or to code 60690. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight anything that might be in brackets anywhere. Like right here, the 9.3 includes a bracket that's letting me know that it includes ultrasound and fluoroscope, which means it includes radiology. So I love that, love that. Thank you for letting me know. Down here at 700, they've got an AKA term, which means stricture. They also have the ultrasound and fluoroscope again mentioned in 05 code. So we'll keep that highlighted. Over here on the 06, we've got the ultrasound and fluoroscope again. Gosh, that wind. And then anything down here. Ooh, I got a modifier alert. 27 has a bracket for any type of its procedure. So, doesn't matter what route or how they did it. If they did it, it's that code. And then that's it on this page. That's all of the yellow highlights. It's just those little things. Not too many. You'll see them again as I get down there to them. And then for your information, I just do a green star all beside those. Anything that says 4, if it's not anything important. Just one little green star by all the 4s for your information. Except for the ones that say bilateral, like this last one down here on the very bottom. This one is a modifier alert, and I can't get under my crane. My pen's too tall, so I double blue star those and underline them because it's telling me to use a modifier. And that's half our battle. And I think there was some more of those. This one that I green starred, we're going to change that to blue. It's definitely a modifier alert. Love it, love it. Please tell me. I like it to tell us to use codes with other codes because these add-on codes, it likes to tell us which ones we can use with them. So when it says use, those get 2 blue stars too. And we've got 2 add-on codes here, one on this column and one on the other one. So they get those little X's. And then I have some do nots. right there. Those get 2 red stars and an underline. So I was just doing the 2, just that. I usually miss a few things, and we eventually get there and do those. But our 90, it's an injection, but it's a surgery. Yep. Huh. How am I going to explain this into one word? It's a surgery. We're making connections of the ureter on one end to a separate portion of the ileum. That's that duct right there. To the opening of the abdominal wall, which is, yeah. It's a surgery, not an injection, but, and then we're making connections. I guess is the best I can do here, but I'm going to explain it. We're doing a surgery, we're making connections. We're going to connect connections. Ureters to one end of a separate portion. Thank you for the love of the ileum. To other end is used to form an opening to abdominal wall. Am I? I'm doing great. It's super windy and no migraine today. Thank goodness. I'm feeling great today. So much better than Monday night. I was in pain. I am much better today. Done a ton of housework and worked on my website, and now I'm working on our AKA list for a procedure and what one word to take with you. Just sort of describing some of these codes and words. You don't really need to know every single thing I'm saying, but I like teaching, I guess. I never thought about being a teacher, but I have turned my life into that, which is so much fun. What y'all really just need to know is your one word, pre-existing. So if they've got something going on, here's some of those placements of the stents. But if they're going to place a stent for this particular code, they've already had pre-existing surgeries for this already. They already had a pre-existing track put in for stents at one time. So that's for that code. We've got a lot of do nots down here. That means for all three of these codes. So please make sure you know it goes all the way up to the top, that these do nots don't get used with those. 30 more minutes. Thanks, Twinkle. You're awesome. You're awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, MK. All right. So these are placements of stents. And this one will be a new access without a separate cath. New, not no, new. I'm trying to say no, don't do this at the same time, because I want to say no, no separate cath. And our other one is a new access, new, with a cath, plus a separate cath. So repair, this is all going to be ureters still. We're still in ureters. I'll be so glad when I don't have to spell this. It's got too many E's in it for me. It just seems so abnormal to write it that way. So we're going to highlight the service to separately right here. Same thing. 50706 is funny because the one back there was 50606 was the same thing, where it said that the poly and the urography were not included and you could add them separately. It's kind of funny, but it's the same thing as what we just did earlier. So our 7,000, well, 700, I guess it is. There you go. Now you can see what I wrote. 50694 is new access with no without a separate catheter. Just plain old, no or. So no separate catheter. So without a separate catheter. Just plain old, no or. So no separate catheter. It's a new access, but no catheter. This one's a new access with a catheter. Includes RAD and supervision and interpretation too. It's all up there, but if you wanted a cheat sheet, but that includes radiology, supervision, and the interpretation. On all of those, so what we're doing right here is we are repairing a portion of the ureter So we're going to repair a narrowed portion of the ureter. That's what we're doing. We're repairing I did not get enough ease into that. Ureter. This plasty operation actually, for this, yeah, this one includes radiology. This one includes rad, S and I too. So we add this in. This procedure is if there's a failed repair, MD will just block ureters. Block the ureters. It's usually because they've got an occlusion or an embolism. When they just can't be saved. We have to use that add-on code because you might get in there and you might try to fix and repair that portion of the ureter, and then you get in there and they're just completely occluded and you can't fix it. So they will just block the ureter, and yeah, nothing you can do there once that happens. That's a bad situation right there. And then the next one is another treatment to go along with this plasty. So it can go along with the plasty, but this is the balloon. We'll try to balloon it up and fix that ureter. Balloon dilation. Balloon dilation. That's all that one is, but it includes radiology, supervision, and interp. What's the round icon mean? Round. Oh, Lord. If you're talking about these are magazine articles or publications. You got it? Okay, somebody else helped. Oh, the red symbol. Yeah. That means no. Do not. All right. All right. Thank you for helping out and answering questions because I'm slow about getting back to them. So the 15. Let's go down to our 15 is dealing with adhesions, is what this is doing. So I can get my pen to write. Adhesions. Oh, pens that were in a different spot. Adhesions. Sometimes the ureters get stuck in this fibrous tissue, just like your uterus when it's forming for the first time, you know, during in uro. If it doesn't expand out, you can get fibrous tissues in it, and they can go in there and get rid of them. Sometimes your ureters can get all tangled up in fibrous tissue during development. So this is just to free ureters from fibrous tissues. Or inflamed tissues. So sometimes over the, you know, you get inflammation, lupus, some of those conditions where your autoimmune system starts attacking things, and you can get some inflamed tissues that get angry and adhere and stick to things. And sometimes you just have to get those broken free. And it can happen that way too. Be sure that's 15 is unilateral. So we'll put a big U there so we know to use our modifier if we need to. And just like if you've got an autoimmune disorder, sometimes you've got an ovarian. Your ovaries are floating underneath your kidneys, and all of that stuff's all up in the way. Sometimes if you've got bad ovaries or an ovarian syndrome of some sort, they can get snagged, or they can snag your ureters and take over all that area too. So so 22 is a release. So it's a release a blockage, ureters, by ovarian syndrome. Just exactly what it says in the descriptor. It's just a release of them blocking. Let's see, 25. Lysis. Lysis means a stitch. I remember stitch. Reanimus is of the upper urinary tract of the vena cava. Oh Lord, F3. Are together. Those are together. So, so when we're updating an already made artificial opening for the ureter. So, let's see, between skin and urinary tract. Urinary tract. Just like they can make a artificial opening for your colon with the bag thing, they can do the same thing for your urinary system. So this is just a revision of that artificial opening. One's by itself, and then of course you can also repair some hernias or other things in there while you're working around in there. Refix it. Let's refix it. Ten more minutes. Thank you, Twinkle. All right. 40. So this one, what they're doing is they're taking out the bad part of a segment of the ureter and putting the healthy portion back into the renal pelvis. So take out bad. So they're excise occluded, occluded ureter, and reattach healthy part to the renal pelvis. Good Lord. Okay. To the renal pelvis. 50. So this one is a surgery to connect the upper pole of a healthy ureter back to, this is without removal of anything bad, back to renal. Sometimes you can get in a wreck, or who knows, they get detached for some reason. Renal calyx, C-A-L-Y-X is what that says. It's so hard to write with this big bubble of thing in my way. Yes, I will be back 6:30 live, Arizona time zone. Hey, what do y'all want me to do on the live tonight? What do y'all want to go over? E&M, diagnosis codes, radiology, what you in the mood for? So I still have to prep for tonight's live. So what would y'all like to see? What kinds of questions would you like to go over? Cases, what you in the mood for? Neurology, musculoskeletal, cancer. What are y'all in the mood for? Cardio, E&M, diagnoses, all of the above. Cases. I have a question. What you got a question about? B-RAN, medicine, neuro, E&M, and RAD. Just all of the above. Let me write down some of this because I'm going to forget. There was too much. Yeah. Today is 2/2. Oh my gosh, 2/2/22. How come I haven't seen any TikToks about that yet today? 2/2/22. EM, RAD, Med, Neuro. I saw diagnoses. Medicine. Yep, I got that. Cases. Diagnosis is cardiology. Yep. Cardiology, medicine, neuro, E&M, cases, neuro. Okay, I think I got everything written down. I've been in the medical field for 17 years and now I'm trying to learn coding. Wonderful. You've got a whole career worth of learning coding ahead of you. The first step is to pass your CPC exam. So don't try to learn a lifetime's worth of coding. Try to pass your exam first. That's the first step. And I can teach you how to do that with a lot less stress than trying to learn enough coding for an entire career. They'll teach you on the job. For sure. Lab and path. The best way to find a job after getting certified. What are you in the medical field? If I might ask, because that makes a difference. What have you done? Anesthesia. There's only 4 questions now on anesthesia on the exam. If you know your modifiers, which I told you to write in your book, You are going to be golden for anesthesia. Insurance and billing. Okay. So and you don't have any certification. You don't have your certification for billing or for coding, right? Oh, nice. Okay. Correct. Not yet. Okay. Radiology. Perfect. Okay. So since you've been in medicine and you've worked in radiology and cath labs and stuff, you're not going to have as hard of a job finding a job as a coder as some would, because you've already got a medical background. So that's good. You just need to learn how to pass the CPC exam. That's great. I can teach you how to do that without a course and without a ton of pain and suffering, except for you need to prep your book. And this is going to cause you a lot of pain and suffering. Start investing in some highlighters. Push buttons are great. And if you get ink pens, I like the Sharpies, ultra fine. Make sure they're ultra fine, because I can write and then I can wipe my hand over them and they don't leave marks all over the place. You're also going to need a CPT book. If you're going to take it this year, your certification exam, you can get the 2021 CPT book or your 2022. Either one, don't care. But you need to start working on it. And there's a lot you need to do. The first thing is you need to fix your out-of-code sequences. So a lot of these codes, this book is numerical. So it's in order of numbers. And the exam is already coded for you. You just need to be able to pick out the right answer fast. And so some of the CPT codes are marked in red and they're out of sequence. So the first thing you need to do is go find all these red codes, write down the page number beside this so you can go find it. So you don't have to go look through a range of codes to go find it in the middle of your exam. That's number one. You got to do that through the entire book. Then you need to watch my TikTok lives or what I've posted on YouTube to pick out the one word difference between the codes to write underneath the code. So you can, if you're given two things that start out the same way, like these are all three uretolysis, whatever they are. They're all starting with, these three right here are all starting with the same word. So the one difference is that this is adhesions. This difference is it's a release of the ureter. Then this one is a freeing of the ureter with a stitch. So knowing those one differences when they're all starting out with the same exact word, and you don't have to evaluate them during the middle of your exam, it's 100% better than anything out there on the internet. You also need to mark all your do nots and your do's so that they're alerting you during the middle of your exam. And then you got to add to the anatomy. But I will be back on at 6:30 in 2 hours and a half to show you some practice exam questions for the CPC exam and how I use the process of elimination with knowing how to look for coding irregularities to eliminate answers to get you down to just a 50-50 shot on the question. And that's just looking at the codes. We haven't even looked at the question yet. Then you go pick your two codes that you've decided those are the two that are going to be the winner, one of those. Then we run and see what our one word is that we're going to go back and search our question for at that time without reading it if we have to find the correct answer. Passing the exam is all you need to do. Now, if you want to be a step ahead of everybody else with your medical background, I'd recommend getting the CRC or the Auditors certification too. I teach those too. And I have a Discord that's free to join that has practice exam questions for all of that in it. If we go to my Discord, and this is the main chat, down here I have practice exam rooms for CPC questions, but I also have for the risk one and the auditing one. Those are all really good too certifications. Just get one of them, but I'd recommend pretty much everybody to get a CPC and also go into risk. Most of the medical groups or insurance companies are looking for risk adjusters to work for them remotely, and that is the thing. You need to know your population and know their medical risk so that you can manage money appropriately, and both of those certificates will absolutely keep you in the workforce 100%. But passing that CPC is the first step, and I can show you how to do that for sure. You're very welcome. You're going to be doing great. Just you sent me a friend request on Discord. Yep, I see. I've got some stuff I need to in messages I have to attend to on Instagram for the last 14 weeks. Oh my gosh, I didn't know there was messages on there. And then I've got to get messages on Discord taken care of. And I got to fix the kids' dinner, and then I will be back, and we will do all these practice exam questions tonight. For the exam, I'll show you my techniques on how to pass it. All free, for sure. Absolutely. I will be back and see y'all in a couple of hours. Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you, CC, for helping me out, moderate, and keeping me with my time appropriate, too. No, you guys are the best. Thank you for your participation. And how do we log on to Discord? So probably the easiest thing is to go to my TikTok as soon as I end this live and go to my last TikToks. The one with Dolly Parton waving right here, it says free practice questions. She's the blonde down there. If you click into that, my comments over there have my Discord number in it. So go on and download the Discord app, set up your account, and then you can join by typing in that number or copying that link and putting it in a browser right there. It's in my comments right there. It's probably the easiest thing. And there is a link also in my bio if you want copies of any of my notes or practice exams and stuff. I have those on Etsy, and also a document to keep your 2021 books and update them to be 2022. I also have a document that everybody helped me create that tells you what's been on the exam the last 45 days, what vocabulary people saw when they took it, those kind of things. It's up there too. My email is right there too. Anyway, everything's right there. So if you need me, I'll see y'all on Discord. I'll go get these people added real quick. I got messages, yep. And I will see y'all back in 2.5 hours. Oops, I'm dropping my phone. It's so warm. What notes do I suggest you get first? Probably integumentary is a really good start, because anesthesia we're only going to have 4 questions on, but integumentary is going to be your first big one where you've got 6 questions, and they're going to ask you to, do you know how to bundle multi things? Like, what if we remove a biopsy and a lesion, and we have skin tag removals? I have coding example questions on that with it, plus you've got all the one-word things on the integumentary one. And I've done a lot of defining things, like as far as definitions in the integumentary, because it's the start out. Like, if you don't know what, like, bulla is, it's a blister. I did a lot of definitions for a lot of words, so that if you weren't clinical, you would know it. Plus, you've still got your one-word differences and all the stuff that you need. But then I've got the coding examples of what if you have multiple things to code? How do you code them? Down here at the bottom. So integumentary is a really good place to start if you just wanted to. And then you could see what I did, and then you can recopy it on your own for the other sections. So you'll know what I did, and then you can just recopy it to the other sections. So integumentary is a really good place to start. All right, I got to go. My phone's at 14% too. I got to charge it while I'm gone. Thanks so much for participating, guys. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you back in 2 hours. And I think there's a thing you can click those 3 little dots down here at the bottom of this live, and it'll bring up something, I think, so that you can be added somehow to notified when I'm going live. I'm not sure, but I think it's those 3 little dots down on the corner. See y'all later, Tiffany. Thanks, guys.